very good day to you and welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Jedel Kibir. Always glad that you join us every single day for political conversations we hope will help our leaders in making better policy decisions and informed political moves. I'm here with the hard hitter, Professor Herman Manyora. Prof, great to see you. Thanks for making time for us once again.
Thank you too.
Our conversation for today, I don't think we've had this conversation with you since you left the platform, is about Haiti. Kenya is going to Haiti. President William Ruto has promised the international community that he's sending 1,000 of our police officers. Ex-US Special Envoy Dan Lewis comes out and says Kenya is only looking for money that is going to be generated from this mission. We're actually going to receive 13 billion Kenya shillings injected for this mission. And he says President William Ruto is actually going there, sending our police officers, not our KDF, simply because of this money. Also says this mission is doomed to fail. They have tried it before for over 20 years. 20,000 soldiers have been taken there and they cannot deal with Haiti people. Prof, tell me this. You look at this situation of Haiti. Should we even go there in the first place? We have reasons to keep our officers here in Kenya.
Well, on the face of it, certainly no. It's a dangerous mission. It is basically none of our business, if you ask me. But again, if you look at it from another perspective, we are part of the international community and we can contribute towards peace in other countries. Peace in one country is peace in all countries. So it depends on how you look at it. It is true there's money involved. It is true the president's eyes could be on the money. But it's equally true that Kenya is a valued peacekeeper. Over years, Kenya has contributed to peacekeeping missions. And these police are not the first. We send our police to Bosnia. That I can remember that. Maybe the other places I don't remember, but I remember our police going to Bosnia. Yeah.
But the question is, why police officers, not the Kenya Defense Forces? Because we do not have an agreement. At least they had this agreement with Prime Minister Ariel to reciprocate police officers. But shouldn't we send our KDF, not these police officers?
It's not a military intervention issue. It's a issue of law and order. It's a police issue. It's not a military issue.
Okay.
Yeah, the military go in military situations. The police go in matters of law and order, enforcing law and order.
But do you think our police officers, some say, are not capable of dealing with these gangs? You listen to this, Dan Lewis says, these guys are organized. These guys are, they are crazy. They are willing to keep the country for themselves. They are saying that the United States wants to intervene, and therefore it is difficult. If US was unable to deal with them, can Kenya deal with them?
But if the US were unable to deal with Somalia, and we did it. I remember Mohammed Farah did, harassing the US troops. They were being dragged in the streets of Mogadishu. Kenya's troops have not been dragged in the streets of Mogadishu. So it doesn't follow that what US can do, we can't do. No, it's not true. There's a living example. We made it in Somalia, they didn't.
So we could be there.
We could make it in Haiti.
In Haiti.
Yeah, why not? Hii mambo ya kujidhara, tujiamini. You could attack the whole thing, but not because we may not be able. And those who are saying we will not be able, like I listened to a certain clip, is because we are third world. If it was Europe, if it was a European country, I don't buy such a stupidity.
So you think it's our time to shine?
We can shine, we can do it. Why not? Who tells you? And the risks are there, but that's what when your son goes to the police, you even bribe or the military. Hii ni kazi unasema naingia hii kazi ya kukufa. I don't know what people are saying.
And this is my next conversation, because you listen to political leaders. I'm here with Philip Kisi. You listen to the likes of Kiro. They're saying we have a lot of problems here in our country. Why are we sending our officers to die in another country?
When you go to the police, you are taking a job where dying is not one of the things you should be considering. It's obvious. It's part and parcel. It's in the territory. If you join the army, you are saying I'm taking a job where dying is what is normal. Yeah. If you didn't want, why don't you become a teacher or a doctor somewhere? So,
but don't you think if it's...
that we have better things to do is true, but that we could get hardened training is also true. Ask Kisia. We take 1,000 soldiers. Sometimes it is prolonged, and therefore it's not just 1,000. 1,000, then another 1,000 go, or 500 come, 500 join the remaining, like that. And it could go on for 5 years. You can imagine the hardened police officers we shall have trained through the experience.
1,000 isn't going to cut it. And while they have commitments for double or triple that, that's still not going to cut it. Every time there's been a military intervention into Haiti in the past 30 years, it's had a minimum of 20,000 troops or police going in there. You see the reticence on the part of the Kenyan public to send these guys, and that makes me nervous. I believe this is more of a cash grab by President Ruto, whose country would receive a lot of money for doing this. But the Haitians are well armed, and if the international community imposes this new CARICOM government construct, they're going to fight the Kenyans to the death.
But you look at this case, he says 20,000 troops have been sent, and we are sending 1,000 officers. You're saying that we can shine with our 1,000 officers. Is this what you're saying? What is the place?
Kenya is sending 1,000, but heading a mission from other countries. It's not just that 1,000. There will be other thousands from other places. Kenya is heading. We contribute 100, 1,000, others contribute, then we head. And then we shine. Let the boys go and get experience.
What is the place though?
If you said some of them will die, but that's what they signed for.
What is the place of caution?
Sasa wazazi ambao wanapeana hongo watoto wakuwe polisi, wakae wakijua kazi ya polisi ni kukufa. Kazi ya askari ni kukufa. Kupiga risasi na kupigwa risasi. Hiyo ndio kazi yao.
What is the place of constitutionalism?
So don't bribe for your son to join the police, then you begin to shake because they are going to Haiti. By the way, do you know people have been bribing to go to those missions? If you are given the task of selecting this 1,000, you'll have a problem. You can't sleep in your house. Your phone will be jammed.
People want to go.
Chukulia kijana yangu wake. Chukua kijana. So let them go. What's your problem?
I'm asking them the
why are you sympathizing for those who are not ready to
of the constitution, because this mission was called unconstitutional because we are sending our police officers, not our military guys.
Yes.
And we signed a reciprocal agreement with a guy who's not who was a prime minister then, but then had to resign because he was forced out, saying he was put into the prime minister's position by the Americans. Do you think this mission follows our constitution from where you sit?
I'm not aware of what the constitution says, but if the constitution says we needed to have had that agreement,
yes,
which we proceeded to have, is of no consequence that the guy is no longer prime minister. Because all the debts Ruto is been paying. Governments exist in perpetuity,
yes,
perpetual succession. An individual does not go with the office, he just goes along. So if that prime minister signed when he was prime minister, then whatever he did is binding, and the president is right to send troops. And when we argue about these troops, we must be clear how when we argue about against sending our children to Haiti, we must be very clear how we argue. And the constitution, if the prime minister signed when he was prime minister, it's constitutional. It does not breach the law.
Whether soldiers are going to die?
Whether soldiers are going to die is not an argument, because that's what they sign in to do.
And how about
as a teacher signs to go and teach and mark books, a soldier signs in to go and shoot and be shot.
How about public perception and how the public has received this matter?
That's now that's the angle you must pursue.
That's what I'm going.
So you must harness that if you are leading the argument against. And that's what I'm saying. Those who are against this must be more organized. Yeah, they have to find a better way of presenting their case, and the politicians who can make use of it to bring Ruto down. But they had better be more organized. They must know that over which they don't have control. The argument they are advancing, which don't hold water, they must stop advancing them.
Yeah.
They must advance arguments that can help them move their course. If the public is against an issue, that's not enough. You must collect all that into collective national anger and direct it like water to break a wall.
So from where you sit, do you think we should go ahead with this mission? When you listen to also the argument about banditry in Kenya, we have to deal with
It's not what I think.
Internal issues.
It's not what I think.
I need to ask you what you think.
No, it's not what I think. Me, I'm just a doctor. The patient is here. I'm treating the patient. It's not what I want. It's what medicine wants, what science says about the patient. I do that. And I'm saying you cannot fail to take part in bringing order at the international scale because you have some little disorder in your place. Kenya is not a failed state. This is a functional system. This is a functional government. The fact that we have done a shoddy job on banditry does not mean we cannot contribute
The Haiti mission.
To the Haiti mission. No, that's not an argument. Yeah, it's not an argument.
So
in any case, Kenya has over 100,000 police, I think. Yeah, 100?
Yes,
or
120. Yes.
So 1,000, it's not an argument. You don't have an argument. It's like if we had 1,500 police officers and we are taking 1,000 there, then you could have an argument. 1,000 out of 120, you can't have an argument.
So what you're saying
it's not an argument.
There's simply no argument not to take
So far, I've not seen an argument against Haiti. Yeah. Sentimental, emotional, political, yes. But
when you put the facts on the table.
No, there are no facts to stop Ruto from taking police to Haiti. There's nothing. Not to say there isn't. I've already given you an example. It is public mood. Public mood is something you must harness. Vuna, harvest it, and make use of it. And I've given them examples. It has worked in the world where governments have insisted on going into missions where the public didn't want. The British people didn't want Tony Blair to take people to the Gulf to fight Saddam because there were no weapons of mass destruction. He lied to them. I'm saying it in open. He lied to them. It later emerged there was nothing like that. Bush took people to Americans to the Gulf. There was nothing. But subsequent actions about Afghanistan, about Iraq, and elsewhere have been informed by the same. Where governments are now either withdraw faster than they would have withdrawn or hesitate before deployment. Being informed by the past and the reactions people had. Now people know better. So you must harness the public opinion.
Then do you read malice because US is not sending their police officers? They actually declined to send their police officers.
Yes.
But they are pushing for Kenyans to send our officers. Do you read malice from this? Why not send theirs?
But you are small boys. You are small boys. People send small boys. I can send you. I can send him. You can't send me around. Power relations. Yeah, power dynamics. I can send you. You can send me. I can tell you, can you please rush to town and bring? You will go, right?
Yes.
For now. Tomorrow things may be, but for now I can send you.
Yes, and I will go.
Age-wise, relationship, I'm your boss, everything like that. So we are small boys and Americans can send us anywhere.
Well, I can't advance this conversation because Herman is breaking down the arguments one by one, saying President William Ruto will still send our officers. We are small people as a country. Also says, look, let's put emotions aside. Officers signed up to go and die, shoot or be shot. Thank you for tuning in to this conversation. But until we do talk again, have yourself a lovely rest of your day.